You know, there's a certain player type in Warframe that just enjoys big things. Big burgers, big buns, big explosions, and why not, big damage numbers. And I'm definitely one of those players. And if you are too, well... Hey guys, welcome back. As always, my name is Leyzar, and today we got a versus. We're gonna put up against each other two of the biggest explosive bows in Warframe. We're talking about the Lenz versus the Kuva Bramma. 2022 Ed, with the galvanized mods, with the prime mods, with the faction mods essentially, that works. And we're gonna kick this puppy off by talking about functionality and quirks of the two weapons. First off, the Lenz. It's got two big issues. Issue number one, by default the charge rate or the fire rate is 1.2 seconds. Which is hella long for normal missions. And the problem is you cannot release a half shot or a 3/4 shot or a whatever shot, you gotta charge it all the way back. You get the chain, and then you can release your projectile. Now that explosion, by default, you're looking at 7.2 meters with a damage drop off of 70%. And you might say, dude, 70% is a lot. But for explosive weapons in Warframe, it's actually quite nice. Now the explosion you are seeing right now is the glorious 12-meter explosion generated by Prime Firestorm, because basically we're gonna go all out. So the explosion is absolutely huge and the damage is quite nice as well. One more issue to the weapon. It doesn't have a whole lot of ammo, as you can see, but on the plus side it has a built-in arrow mutation. So all you gotta do is walk all over whatever ammo and it's gonna be transformed automatically into Lenz ammo, as you can see. And that's pretty much it for issues. It used to be that this weapon would deal damage to yourself. It would blow you up because the initial frost shock that the weapon can do would slow you down, and then you had a second to dash out of the explosion before you die. But the self-damage system was removed from Warframe because of excessive hand-holding. So, no more fun. Let's talk about the Bramma. Yes, the mighty Bramma. Now this one is entirely different, and you might argue that this one is ugly as well, but keep in mind you can put a skin on it. Like, for example, you can put something cool like this. Why the hell not? Now this one has an even bigger explosion, believe it or not. This one is over 80 meters by default, and of course what you're seeing right now, that woof, that is the Prime Firestorm, almost 14 meters. I think it's 13.8 something with Prime Firestorm. And if that wasn't enough, oh my god, you're spawning bomblets. You're spawning kind of like the same idea of bomblets as the Tsar has, only these kind of like go haywire. Even if you do aim for the feet at like a 20-degree angle or something like that, the little bomblets still kind of go haywire, so they're not entirely reliable. Do bear that one in mind. But you get one big explosion, and the charge rate on this one, quick. Ammo, ammo, there's some ammo issues, what you expect, but don't worry about it, because like in a normal mission, you're not gonna have any issue, and of course you can mod for it, you can drop a pad, you can use carrier, there are plenty of ways to get around ammo. When you get explosions this big, at this fast of a charge rate, you shouldn't really whine about ammo. Now, keep in mind that the Kuva weapon also has one additional advantage. Being a Kuva weapon, you can control the additional element it has on it. Depending on your progenitor, you can get a big bonus. So, honestly, when it comes to damage, let's do a comparison really quick. It does have the edge, but not only when it comes to damage, it also has the edge when it comes to status chance. I mean, the status chance on the Bramma is usable, and you can get some nice status procs out of the weapon. It's not like you need a lot, you need a few, but you do need some. If you take a look at the status chance on the Lenz, it's very bad. 5% versus 21%, it's not even funny. The difference in critical multiplier can be ignored, but the critical chance on the Lenz, that is where the weapon truly shines. You're looking at 50% versus 35. Again, the Bramma is no slouch, but 50 is bigger than 45. As you can see. Again, damage is on the side of the Bramma. There's really not a whole lot to talk about there. The impact bit here, I would vote again. We ignored this bit simply because that is the arrow making contact with a target, and we're talking about explosive weapons. You're gonna aim for the feet or try to get that explosion in the ideal point. Now, there's one issue the Bramma has. While the explosion may be big, humongous, 8.3 instead of 7.2 by default, keep in mind that the fall off is terrible. That's a 90%. You don't want this number to be all that high. You want it to be as small as possible. Some players still don't understand how damage drop off works in Warframe. My friends, that glorious damage might be huge, but it's huge only at the epicenter. That's it. The more you get away from the epicenter of the explosion, the more damage you lose. And right at the edge, 90%. So again, you do lose a whole lot of that damage. Now, when it comes to builds, my friends, I'm going to give you like a fleeting look. This would be a quote-unquote maxed out setup for the Bramma. But if you want the logic behind it, the rationale, hey, man, why do you use this mod instead of that mod? Shouldn't I use the other mod, or can't I use this mod? I got full detailed guides on each of these weapons for the Bramma. Link in the cards. Haha, right now. Now let's test what this puppy can do, because honestly, this is the primary reason I did this video. I want to shoot more stuff with the Bramma. I like shooting stuff with the Bramma. How many shots do you want me to do? Let's do a couple, because I like them to go to pieces. Take a look at all that damage. Beautiful. You got procs, you got explosive damage, you got whatever. Of course, I could have stopped shooting and let them die from the procs, but that's not really my style. And these being galvanized setups, also, you're gonna need a couple of kills to get the full benefit and all whatnot. It's really nice to shoot them from above. You get to see exactly what's happening with... Look at that. Do I need to make more of an argument than this? This is the Kuva Bramma. It goes boom. It annihilates whatever stands before you. It's one hell of a weapon. And again, I highly recommend it. If you want to know the ins and outs, make sure you watch the guide. It's a bit on the lengthy side, but you do get all the info you need. One shot. Boom. There they go. Can I knock you off the platform? It ran away. It ran away. It was too scared of the Bramma. Now let's see what the Lenz can do, and equally we're gonna go for a maxed out setup. Now you will see that my Lenz has a Riven and the Bramma does not have a Riven. Why is that? You're not being fair, am I now? Well, you see, the Bramma is a bit more popular than the Lenz is, for you'll see obvious reasons. And the Riven disposition is 1 out of 5. Honestly, getting a Bramma Riven, which is worth putting on the weapons, considering all the mods we have right now, not really worth it. On the other hand, the Lenz does have 3 out of 5, so you can find plenty of Rivens that are worth putting on the build. And you know what? They're also cheap. I think you can get a Lenz Riven for something like 50 plat unrolled. Maybe you get lucky, huh? Maybe farm a little bit of Kuva, get lucky. That's how I always think. Maybe I'll get lucky. I never get lucky. So anyway, that's a story for another time, or maybe my therapist. Back to the build at hand. You'll see I'm using point strike on this one instead of the 200% with the minus 20% fire rate one, simply because the charge rate on this one is horrible. And it's very difficult from mission to mission to play with this one without an actual fire rate mod, but you can make it work. Again, if you want explanations for the builds, you got a full and detailed guide for the Lenz in the cards right now. One more time, the Corrupted Heavy Goons level 120. And let's be fair about this, yes, let's stack it up like we did for the Bramma. And let's see what the weapon can do. That initial Frost Shock, man. You see, you get a whole lot of procs. The problem with the Lenz is that having that stupid low status chance, even if you mod for Vital, the Vital procs are not gonna be consistent. Oh, that's beautiful. Now I got it stacked up. But you can still keep Hunter Munitions on because of the raw damage. You can kill enemies without the Vital proc from the slashes up until level, let's say 150-ish. Okay, we got a couple of stacks on the Lenz right now. Did I say Lenz when I was supposed to say Bramma? I meant Lenz. Lenz! Right now, take a look at that. A single shot. Look at those slashes. 20,000 plus, man. Simply chipping away at our enemy, slowly and surely annihilating those targets. Again, the big advantage to this one is the 70% damage drop off instead of the 90%. It makes one hell of a difference. Now let's talk about endgame. Yeah, bro, endgame. What is endgame for you, my friends? Please let me know in the comment section down below, because I don't find it in Warframe. If an endgame is something you put in a whole lot of time in, then my endgame is probably fashion frame. Don't tell nobody. That's not important. What is important? Let's say that your endgame is something like going to Steel Path and you want to sit a while in there, right? You want to sit on, I don't know, a couple of hours, maybe go to level cap, some sort of nonsense like that. In which case, honestly, I won't really take either of these weapons. There are plenty of more weapons which are more suitable for that kind of task. This is a fantastic, or these are fantastic weapons to do normal, average, everyday content. And when I say normal, average, everyday content, I'm talking about up until level 150. That is pretty high. That's not even sortie free. Sortie free starts off at what, 80, 90, and maybe if you stand in survival, it goes past 100. So honestly, for like the vast majority of content that Warframe can throw at you, either of these weapons will do the job just fine. You can even hunt Eidolons with them. On the other hand, nowadays you can hunt Eidolons with a toothpick. Which of these two weapons is more powerful, brah? Because at the end of the day, it is a versus. Well, it's the Bramma. I'm sorry, my friends. Honestly, I wanted the Lenz to win. You know what? Not because I don't love the Bramma, but because I'm nostalgic. Because I love the Lenz. Because it's not as played as it used to be, and I don't see a whole lot of players running around with it anymore. But nostalgia aside, there's simply no comparison when it comes to actual power and actual force. The Bramma wins by a mile. So if you're just interested in the more powerful weapon, you go for the Bramma. What is more interesting, what is more quirky, what is more fun, and what exactly you should use? Well, from my point of view, you should use both. This is Warframe, you're supposed to try everything out, and there are few weapons in the game that are more Warframe than the Lenz. It's a spacey, futuristic weapon, and I 100% love that one as well. Not as powerful as the Bramma, but definitely worth taking a look at. And I do believe, my friends, that's pretty much it for today. As always, my name has been Lazar. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And if you'd like to see stuff like this more, please let me know in the comment section down below. Also in the comment section down below if you guys got any sorts of feedback. And if you want to support the content, hey, consider supporting us via Patreon. Link in the card right now. Until next time, my friends. Oops, where's my animation? There we go. Bye-bye.